get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining lights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right, ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless reading, but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? Back at it again. You know, these topics just, you keep them coming, keep them coming. I'm going to keep y'all like, damn, never thought about it like that. But today we're going to really get into the most, I would say, confusing, but yet controversial topic today is my loyalty equal her getting bored. And if I cheat, she complains. It's like a no-win situation. No-win situation in these type of situations. The men who are loyal, paying all the bills, not having a whole bunch of girls, doing everything. The women, oh, I'm bored, he's boring, and they want excitement. And then they want to leave. Right? Now they're looking for the guy, now they're chasing a guy who's going to have a gang of bitches, right? She's going to be more challenged, right? Women want challenges. If you're doing everything right, she's going to think something's wrong with you. Now, if you're a cheater, she's going to complain about you being a dog. You do good, motherfucker. You do good. Use a. What is it? You ain't shit. You're going to get all the bad things. You're going to get pretty much dog walked. Right? And this is the hard balance in relationships. It's the hard balance. Because on one end, if you do everything right, you risk losing her. If you do everything wrong, you risk losing her, right? So how do you, I guess you got to find a healthy balance, right? You got to do a little bit, you got to, I guess, keep it a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Because I don't understand, but it is the way women think, right? Their emotions rule them. So therefore, if there's no excitement and everything is just too perfect, then it's not good enough. Right? It's just not. If you're too successful and you get too much attention, they get jealous of that. They think then now what good am I here? But now, if you're a rapper and you got a gang of bitches, you got too many bitches, they start complaining. So you have to understand, men, you're not the problem. It had nothing to do, and I've been saying this a long time. Women love the things that make them think and make them emotionally discharged, even though it's the worst thing for them. This is why they're attracted to bad guys. This is why they don't like the good guys. Because women like to be emotionally charged. It makes them feel a sense of purpose. It makes them feel like there's something worth striving for. And this is the mistake a lot of men make. A lot of men make the mistake of giving them everything they want and complying. Right? And the woman feels like there's nothing else to strive for. She's going to cheat on you. She's going to fucking cheat on you because the other guy who looks a little bit like he needs more of her, it's going to turn her on more. It's going to make her feel wanted. I'm just saying, this is the sad reality, but it's the truth. And I'm here to deliver this truth to you in a way where you can understand, right? Or try, at least we can come to a conclusion. Maybe y'all can give me some information. But in my estimated opinion, you're in trouble when you try to double down on something like this. It's just very difficult. So I'm gonna got this video, and we're gonna hear this video out with these two ladies discussing why do women complain about men cheating.
Is a hardworking man, great provider, gives her everything she needs and wants. Juan, of course, do not know what the email is about. All right, so let's jump right into it because this is a pretty long one. All right, greetings. I have a friend who is constantly complaining about her husband. He is a hardworking man, great provider, gives her everything she needs and wants, provides for her and the kids, and he cooks extremely well. My friend does not work and depends solely on him for everything. The problem is he cheats on her constantly. He is very controlling. He does not like for her to go anywhere besides church and the grocery store. Meanwhile, he is doing whatever he wants to. She even caught him with another woman. No, she even caught him with other women. Her husband belittles her and at times can be very abusive, verbally as well as physically. I have told my friend to leave him, but she does not think that she would be able to survive without him because she is able to live extremely well. Her husband owns 2 businesses that are doing very well, and financially she does not have to want for anything. Money is not everything, and I would rather live in peace. She is extremely stressed out. I keep telling her that money cannot buy happiness. I have offered my friend to live with my husband and I until she is able to get on her feet. My husband and I have the space and do not want her and the kids to go through unnecessary stress. And at the same time, I do not want to overstep boundaries.
Now, so this is the thing I've talked about, outside influence. You know, she doesn't like him cheating, but he provides for her something that she probably thinks she can't get on her own or doesn't want to. But yet her sister are saying, oh, you come stay with me and my husband. And this is what people like. People on the outside like to see you fail. They want to see failure. So, you know, if he wasn't cheating, if he was doing all that, then she'd be talking about, boy, he's not there for me. He's too nice. I just want something more. They would tell her, well, love yourself. But he's doing all these things and he has a little extra for herself, like extra chick, 2 or 3 different chicks. She's not all the way mad about it, but she accepted it because she's benefiting. She's a beneficiary, and he is meeting her overall expectation. But once again, this is where selfishness kicks in, because then Once you get everything you want, then you want more. Now, if you want him to be faithful, loyal now. And it's just I guess greed supersedes satisfaction.
No matter what I say, she continues to stay with this man. I would never understand why women always complain about their men cheating, but are always willing to stay with that man. I am that friend that if you are hurting someone I care about, I do not view you the same. So I no longer want to be in the same room as her husband, neither does her family. We are all sick of his behavior. Signed, frustrated friend who wants to help. And I
Fran
said,
needs to find her a man and cheat back. She'll be at peace. She won't. I mean, but she said, honestly, though, for real though. So only place that he allows her to go is his church and the grocery store.
my thing is, when I say it relates to a lot of women, because a lot of women do complain about the man that they're with cheating on her and all of that stuff, but she constantly stays with that man. I mean, we've been young before, even, you know, now as grown women. I think a lot of us have went through that where we've been cheated on. But in my defense, I'm very private. I don't let any and everybody in my business.
Right.
Like, that's just me. Like,
Right.
when I went through things back in the day, my parents didn't even know until like the very last minute when I felt like it was time for them to know. Like, that's just me. And that's a lot of women, they mess up by doing that.
Right, because by her confiding in her friend and telling her friend and her family, now they're looking at him sideways.
Right.
But she's not leaving him. So now they're shunning against him, but she's still in that situation. Her, and then it's mentioned that they got kids together.
Right.
So by her talking to her friend, if she's going to stay, I mean, vent to God, pray.
Exactly. Get on your knees and pray. Because by you, like you said, you telling these people that, but you're still staying. That's just making them dislike this man even more.
Even
And I say
more.
if y'all really get on good terms, you know, where he stopped the cheating and all that, your family's still gonna be looking at him cross-eyed.
Right. And then it's just so much. She needs to get tested. She should get tested every 6 months. I mean, if you caught him, like physically caught him, and he's still living, where they do that
With
at?
other women, not
Yeah,
one.
other women, MEN plural,
Yeah.
and he's still living. He don't have no scars to show that. Y'all got to put the fear of God in these men. I'm telling you, you got to make.
Ooh. How you gonna do that, sweetheart? How you gonna do that, sweetheart? So cute. You gonna put the fear of who? And what? You gonna scar? You gonna now see, and this is where, you know, the lines are very threaded, right? Because now she's talking about an act of violence, which men are very good at, most men. And, you know, she doesn't want that smoke. I mean, just pack your shit, baby girl, and leave. But yeah, this is where the selfishness of women will lead them down paths, unhealthy paths in the relationship, because they're not paying. Listen, women are demanding loyalty for free, right? Men are buying loyalty. So by her, the stuff he's giving her, all the stuff, all the money, all the lifestyle he's giving her, all long as she's loyal, right? But she wants the same equal return, but she doesn't want to put no money up. She doesn't want to buy his. She's not going to pay for his loyalty. She demands it and expects loyalty, even though she doesn't want to put up the money for it. So she wanted it for free. And now that she doesn't get it for free, you know, now she's complaining. She's complaining because I guess she feels worthless. I feel she feels powerless. But this is the price. If you want, listen, should men start charging for loyalty? Should men start making pay for loyalty? I mean, I'm just saying, they charging us for loyalty. To get that woman exclusively, you got to be a provider. Should we reverse the game?
Make them scared of you. Because if you, and I'm not saying make them scared, but let them know you got a little bit of crazy in you.
Right.
And they won't be testing you like the wife seems to be humble and meek and, mild, and she don't like no confrontation, and she just letting him do whatever he wants, and she's letting him do all this because he is taking care of
He's
everything.
in control.
She doesn't have to work.
Right.
She gets anything that she wants, and he's pacifying her because of what he's doing out in the streets. Girl, find you a Jody. Friend, tell friend to find her a Jody. But yeah, though, for real, it's sad because, like I said, she got to get tested. Mm-hmm. And I mean, working where I was working, you would get these calls, and I remember this one lady, she called and she was crying, and she was like, her husband of 13.
See, and once again, right? These are just women complaining about us. They complain about us, but let's take a look at them in the mirror. Let's put them in the mirror, right? And compare them to us.
As men, perhaps even more. I see so many cheating wives that I really began to wonder who was sexing all of them up, because it sure as hell wasn't me. Where were these guys who were sleeping with all these wives? Because they sure weren't coming through my law office either. The question remained a mystery to me until I moved in with a guy friend of mine for several months when I was in between homes. I soon learned that my friend was sleeping with a lot of these wives. He and his best friend were. He and his best friend trolled a dating site and sexed up many different wives and single women. And that's what the quote-unquote single women told them, is what he's saying. It got so bad that before either one of them went on a date with a new woman in their city, they literally called each other to make sure they didn't F the same woman, which they referred to as double dipping. These two guys were in their mid-40s, not particularly attractive or remarkable. They refused to spend any money on these women, and we figured out that between the two of them, they had slept with about 70 different women in their city in 1 year alone that I was there. They never had sex with any of these women together, and neither one had sex with the same woman. I saw many strange women come to my friend's house while I lived with him, and sometimes I heard them. I personally knew the other guy as well. One woman would open her garage door in the middle of the afternoon at the matrimonial home. He'd park inside, close the garage door, service her and leave. Like a drive-through, more like a drive in and out. Well, I know that some of you aren't going to like this one, but what are you going to do about it? That's the reality of the sexual marketplace. Human beings often push for monogamy. We love talking about being monogamous all the time. I've talked about often, the difference between polygynous type of relationships and monogamous type of ones. And the grim reality of this whole issue that is being dealt with is that humans are in fact very, very promiscuous. There's a chapter in my book, The Unplugged Alpha, where I talked about the promiscuous nature of human beings from all these different perspectives. And the truth of the matter is, guys, is if you're going to choose monogamy, make sure it's chosen, not enforced upon you. And just understand that women do cheat. There's no amount of buffers for marriage, religious ceremonies, or any of these things that are going to protect you from a woman that is going to step out and sleep with other guys. There's some things you can do. Sure, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But so let me share an interesting personal story with you. So many moons ago on a dating app, I ran into some married women, and it was my policy at that time, all's fair in love and war. I've changed my mind since, of course, because it just doesn't sit right with you dealing with a guy's wife. And I ran into this lady. We get together, we have a drink, and she proceeds to tell me at the drink that she's in fact married. The guy that she was married to, because I live in Toronto, I'm not going to mention the place that he worked at, but he was extremely high profile. Like if I told you what he did for a living, any one of you guys watching this would be able to look him up and pass on this information. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. He was a very prolific individual, and she had no shame about it whatsoever. She would give me intimate details. She would tell me how bored she was of the guy, how he didn't interest her anymore, how she was disappointed in the relationship. And she would literally go to the ends of the earth to do anything to entice, or I could almost use the words entrap, to sort of reel you in to make sure that you're going to be a continuous quote unquote customer, if I can put it that way, to the point where she wanted to start having me come out to family properties that they share together, matrimonial properties. One of them was a cottage, and it's like, look, I know how people are up at lake houses, and how everybody knows everybody else's business, and how sound travels across the water. And it's like, lady, that's it. Look, I'm done at this point. Like, as soon as they get to that, where it's like, you have the realization that I got to stop doing this because these chicks have absolutely no shame and they're literally that bad. Like the story that he tells about his friend going over to this married woman's house, she would kind of leave the garage door open, he would close it and go through the garage door, do his thing, and then slip out of the house. She had this whole system to get him into the house and out of the house without neighbors see. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all. This is a reality of the world that we live in today. There's no amount of, well, just make sure you don't marry a narcissist, or just make sure that you don't marry a woman that's had a promiscuous past. Just make sure that you don't da-da-da-da-da-da, sort of thing. And there's certain things that you can do which will potentially reduce the instances of any sort of problems, any kind of nefarious behavior, if I can put it that way, her stepping out on you. One of the main ones seems to still be a woman's purity. And it's one of the things that I've talked about on this channel many times that bug a lot of women, and I don't really care. But the truth of the matter is, statistically speaking, women that have a low to no notch count are far better choices for long-term committed marriage type of relationships than women that have been running around. And my theory on this, and they can't study this to get the exact answer, but my theory on this is that if you've been through 50, 75 guys before you've gotten married, which isn't that uncommon. In fact, I would argue it's probably far more common than it is uncommon. In my entire life, I've never met a virgin, not once. So you get the idea of how women behave in today's modern world. They're just promiscuous. It is what it is. That's just how they behave. Toxic feminism has told women that you can behave just like men do. In fact, they often encourage it. You can be promiscuous without any consequences whatsoever. But the truth of the matter is, there are consequences. There's a cost associated to everything, if I can put it that way. So when I hear stories like this, I'm not surprised. And I also understand why these things happen and why women behave this way. And it's a factor of selection is one of the issues, talked about earlier.
So, bottom line, these women, they cheat just as much as the men, if not more. Because women are just like men. They want more. People are greedy. And anywhere there's greed, there's always going to be a lust for more. Till next time.